Hello, everybody. Today, we are going to be exploring some of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We will be walking around some of its multiplayer maps and taking in its sights, appreciating the aesthetics, the design, and just trying to appreciate the finer details that you might not pick up on when you're running around in a chaotic team deathmatch game. So, Modern Warfare 3 is a 2011 video game. It was developed by Infinity Ward. And it was published by Activision. I believe Sledgehammer Games also worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And Sledgehammer Games would go on to become an independent development studio, making their own Call of Duty games. I'm not sure if they were a support studio for Infinity Ward or exactly what the relationship there was, but Sledgehammer is credited as a developer of Modern Warfare 3. So, this map is called Dome. And we've got some windmills out there in the dust storm. And I did show you the dome at the beginning. Oh, and we've got some oil rig sort of thing out there. Pulling up oil from underground. And this little compound here is pretty much in ruins. But let's head down into the this little bunker here. And we can see that the ceiling has collapsed, and that everything is covered in a layer of grime and rubble. We have desks and graffiti on the walls, and monitoring devices, electronics, computers, all that sort of stuff. There are papers scattered in all areas. Among the broken concrete and steel, pieces of rebar sticking out from the concrete. At least there is some shelter from the dust storm outside. Even if these are not the finest quarters. state of disrepair. It seems that it was damaged in some kind of fighting, given just how ruined much of the concrete is. And here we have a little forklift, along with propane tank on the back. And we have that little blue, red, and yellow signage. That's a common safety symbol on various chemicals. The blue diamond indicates its level of health implications, or its danger to your health by coming in contact with the chemical. The red indicates how flammable it is, what temperature it ignites at, and the yellow section indicates its reactivity, its chemical reactivity. And the higher the number is, the more dangerous the chemical is in that particular respect. Now, I'm not sure what the purpose of this dome is, but, oh, look at that, we've got a sort of a dog, or maybe a coyote or something. Looks like a dog. But it looks like a radar dish, and so if I had to hazard a guess, I would assume the dome is just a protective covering. Something to keep the elements off of the radar itself. This building, like the bunker from earlier, is covered in graffiti. And let's climb to the upper level and get a better view of our surroundings. We have a couple of towers there, broadcast towers or something, cell towers. And we have some more oil rigs, derricks, water tower, guard post, the windmills. So this seems to be some sort of radar facility set in an oil field. Let's climb down this ladder and explore the other side of the map. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is the final installment of the Modern Warfare trilogy. Here we have a classic video game trope, the explosive red barrel. What a wonderful trope it is. Please leave us, says this graffiti. An AK with BBB inscribed next to it. I'm not sure what that means, Probably not a reference to the Better Business Bureau, but that's the only BBB I know. And the previous two games in the Modern Warfare trilogy were Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which came out in 2007. And then Modern Warfare 2 followed that up in 2009. And then, of course, Modern Warfare 3 capped it all off in 2011. I'm very fond of the Modern Warfare trilogy. And Modern Warfare 3 has my personal favorite multiplayer of the three of them. Just more ruins. Looks like a bunch of heavy-duty batteries here. Car battery style batteries. I just had to change out the battery on my car last week. I had to get to work. I go outside, put the key in the ignition, and the thing you never want to hear, I heard the little click, 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 click. Nothing happening. No ignition, no purr of the engine. We've got a barrel here filled with burning wood. Seems like somebody might be staying here. There's even a filthy mattress leaned up against the wall. And a little kettle as well. Perhaps somebody has taken up residence in this old radar station. So I ran from my car, called my sister-in-law, who was nearby, and said, "Can you drive me to the train station? I need to be there in like 10 minutes. So we whipped over to the train station, and I made it onto the train just in time. So then the day after that, I went to AutoZone and picked up a new battery. There's the dome. Classic dome. And this map is Hardhat. Hardhat. This is in New York City. That building off to the left there is the old Bank of Manhattan building. And we are in a construction site. That's the Bank of Manhattan building. It was, I believe the bank was founded by Aaron Burr back in maybe the early 1800s, or right around the turn of the century. Aaron Burr, of course, in Modern Warfare 3, the United States comes under attack, and so we've got a burning American flag up there, kind of, a visual symbol of the war that's going on. Yeah, Aaron Burr was kind of a an opponent of Alexander Hamilton, and I think Alexander Hamilton had already set up a bank there or something, and Aaron Burr, moved in as kind of to compete with him or something. What is that? Lyle's Tires? Lyle's Tires? Kyle's Tires, I think. Hard to see through the fencing. Yeah, it's been a long time since my high school history class. I might be a little out of date on the, or not quite remembering the history properly. Of course, Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton's rivalry was dramatized very successfully in the Lin-Manuel Miranda musical Hamilton. Very famous musical. Now we've got a parachute there, caught on the construction site. And I was a fan of this map. I quite enjoyed Hardhat. Ooh, that's gruesome. I never realized there was a soldier hanging from the parachute. I won't look at that any closer. Some things are a little grisly for a relaxing video. Yeah, I really liked this map. Lots of short to medium ranges, and lots of doorways and tunnels and little buildings and stuff like that, and that's my style of map for sure. Nesman Place, 100 years in the making. For lease. For lease. I wouldn't worry about trying to lease it out. The place barely has the foundation in. Caution. Hardhat. Look at that. I like that little drawing there. The goatee. Hardhats required in this area. So now we are in the building under construction. And this is kind of funny. Warning. Live firing range. A live firing range. We're in a construction site. Keep gates closed during active use. Trespassing. It's hard to read with the lighting. Trespassing will get you a fine or something like that. That's one of those funny little details you don't really notice until you look closer, that there's a live firing range warning in the middle of the construction site. Probably not accurate, just a reuse of an asset from another map. It's fun seeing the little shortcuts and stuff that developers put in when they're trying to save time and energy. You know, on a map like this, where the players are in 99.5% of cases not going to look too closely at the small details, it's not really an issue to have a misplaced sign about a live firing range. But then it's a fun little discovery when you do look closer and see the incongruities and such. More construction equipment. Tower of a large crane. What looks like an apartment building. We can walk up to the second floor of this building here. We've got a generator on top of some rebar. The generator is chugging along and shaking. Yeah, this map I always remember as having kind of fast-paced action. Lots of moving around, checking corners, that sort of thing. And I really enjoy that style of play. Modern Warfare 3 was my favorite Call of Duty multiplayer, as I said. And I'll talk a little bit about that. First off, the gameplay was just solid. Oh, this is interesting. Hard hats required on this job by y'all employees. By y'all employees. That's an interesting little thing there. Making it y'all instead of all. Yeah, I thought that the Modern Warfare 3 gameplay was just very fluid and satisfying. But what really took it over the top for me were the 3 variations of kill streaks that they had in the game. There was the regular kill streak system, where you had a variety of special abilities that you could receive if you got a certain number of kills without dying. But then there were 2 additional systems. There was something called the support streak, and it allowed you to die but retain your progress towards certain rewards. If you were using the support streak system, you kept your progress even after death. And so, if you were a little bit, if you weren't quite good enough to reliably get high kill streaks, you could use the support streaks and still have that sense of accomplishment. Here we are on Outpost, the map Outpost, which is an airbase in Siberia. We can see some jets out there on the runway. And the kill streaks and support streaks were different rewards, so you would get different abilities. The support streaks were, as the name suggests, a little more supportive in nature. Maybe a bit weaker in general, but more just designed to help your team out broadly, rather than give you a bunch of extra kills. And then the final option was, I believe it was called Specialist. And that allowed you to, we've got a bunch of national flags up here. That's interesting. Maybe representatives of, people who are working at the base.
And with the specialist mode on, you would receive additional perks the more kills that you got, eventually receiving all of the perks in the game at once, making your character quite powerful. And I just loved this system. Look at this big pile of snow and rock outside the hangar. Very windy and snowy here. I really liked the system in Modern Warfare 3, the ability to choose your own style of play in that way. Did you want the traditional kill streaks? Or did you want to rely on making your character much stronger with additional perks? Or did you want more support-oriented rewards that maintained their progress after death? I believe this was largely similar to the system in Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2, I believe, had support streaks as well. Although what Black Ops did, which I really liked, was... look at this. Infinite States of Ward Arctic Research Center. So that's, of course, a reference to Infinity Ward, the primary developer of Modern Warfare 3. What I liked in Black Ops was that they had what was called score streaks rather than kill streaks. And so playing the objective would also get you progress towards your rewards. And I really enjoyed that, being rewarded for playing the objective in that way. This is a big, heavy door. Big door. That thing's like... looks like it's 1.5 feet wide of pure steel. Yeah, in Modern Warfare 3, I was a fan of the support streaks. We've got what looks to be like a server room down here. Heavily guarded, if that massive steel door is any indication. I was a reasonably good Call of Duty player. Not the best among my friend group by any means, but, you know, pretty good. I would usually end up with, somewhere around a 1.5 to 2 KD in most of the Call of Duty games. Usually somewhere on the lower end of that range. So, I wasn't anything special. But I found the support streaks, because of that, to be very enjoyable. I really liked being able to preserve my progress, even when I died. So I used the support streaks a lot. And they were also fun to me. I liked the support streak rewards. I really liked... I would always use the, I think it was called the Recon Juggernaut. It was a care package that dropped a suit of Juggernaut armor, which provided you massive survivability. this is kind of funny. Those doors are very thin compared to the other end. The room seems like it was so protected from one end, and then the other side was pretty much unblocked. And the Recon Juggernaut had a riot shield and a pistol and some smoke grenades. And I really enjoyed running around in that suit of armor with a pistol and a riot shield and smacking people with my shield. So, the support streaks were very fun. And I loved the flexibility of the kill streak system in this game. I would say this game and Black Ops 2 were my favorite Call of Duty multiplayers. So, we got some more forklifts, some vehicles, some gas tanks, a concrete fence capped with barbed wire, and here a snow-filled warehouse. Large snowdrifts having blown through the broken windows and open doors. It seems this airbase is not in tip-top shape at the moment. Nobody is keeping the place in functional order. Another warehouse, barrels, crates, trunks, boxes, emblazoned with a red star, symbol of the Russian army, I believe. And here we are entering a large hangar with the nose, the front part of the chassis of a large plane. Here we have, looks like an engine. The plane is in a sort of scrapped state with panels missing. No door. Can we get up there? Nope. No, we cannot. And maybe up here. No, there's no button prompt for it. No button prompt. Alright. Well, I think that does it for our Siberian expedition. Here we are in Rome, looking off at Mount Vesuvius, erupting with dark smoke. This is the map, Erosion. Erosion. Set in a Roman ruin near Mount Vesuvius. It's reminiscent of Pompeii, the famously destroyed Roman town. you've got a narrow gate here into a narrow little alleyway. Many narrow alleyways like that if you visit Europe, or if you are in a European city or an old city that's hundreds of years old. They built things much narrower back then when they weren't designing for car infrastructure. Here's a statue. There's a lot of bloom coming off it. That's what you call that, right? Bloom? The lighting, when the lighting is kind of glowing and diffusing. A long road out into the Roman countryside, passing. I'm not sure if that's an aqueduct or just an old wall. Here's another of the same statue. This one shrouded by some hanging vines. This is a very attractive map. I like the look of it. Oh, this water is kind of funny. The texturing on it, how finely textured it is with those little ripples, even though and it's flowing, look at that. It makes it look like you're looking at a sea from high up in the air, You're flying over the ocean. It has too much texture for a little pool of water like that. Alright. I'm not sure what's going on here. This map is a bit curious. It's a map of Europe and North Africa, but some of it is white and some of it is black. And seemingly without any rhyme or reason. Alright. Yeah, I love the look of this map. The old Roman architecture, overgrown with shrubs and vines. Rufus Prae Villa. The crumbling stone, the old wood and plaster, and of course Mount Vesuvius's gray, ashy smoke off in the distance. A statue looking out to the Italian countryside. Here we have a small, looks like a 2-story building. Yeah, the bloom is kind of intense. Look at how the light kind of curves around objects. Washes everything out a bit. It's not the most attractive effect. Oh, look at that tree. Looks like a massive olive tree. A huge, thick trunk. Let's find a way down there. Big, heavy wooden doors. Holes in the stonework. Alright. Let's just drop down here and take a look at this gorgeous tree. Olive trees can be incredibly old. Hundreds and hundreds of years old. I'm not entirely confident, but I think they can even be thousands of years old. There are some olive trees today that, Julius Caesar could have rested under. Very nice. So, here we are in a kind of canal section or a drainage section. The water running through these little tunnels. And a little tower here that might dead end. Ooh, it's a nice view. Missing a hand there. Poor lady. So let's check out this. Oh, it goes out the other side. Oh, there's four doors in here. Not a dead end, you can go anywhere. Let's climb up and see if we can get a nice view of our surroundings. Crumbling walls again. The old brickwork falling apart. The painted red and yellow designs on the interior here. Old and faded. And a view of this broken bridge. And out here, should we test a drop? Oh, we took a little bit of damage, but nothing we can't handle. And we've got a little, I don't know, museum sort of section here, it looks like, or a more well-preserved bit of the architecture. Some glass panes in the roof, that's interesting. Probably a modern edition. Lots of designs on the walls and the ceiling. The curved ceiling. And a statue with an oculus above it, letting the sun shine through and illuminating a small circle on the wall. As the sun moves, that little beam of light would slowly revolve around the room, highlighting different segments. You could imagine that at a certain time of day, the sun shines just right to illuminate the statue from behind and above. Of course, one of the most famous Roman structures is the Parthenon, which has a large oculus in its roof. And it looks like we have a large structure out there. Looks like an amphitheater. If I'm not mistaken, that looks like a large ring of seating. Oh wait, maybe no, that's a vertical wall. Not sure what that is. It could be an amphitheater. It's not the best view from here. Here we are on the Irish coast. This map is called Aground. And there are flocks of seagulls flying through the air, circling this large shipwreck that we will be exploring here. There they go. I always love watching birds, especially large flocks of them. How they move as this fluid mass flowing like water, but being made of all these individual components. It's like schools of fish when you see, nature documentaries or what have you of huge schools of tuna or whatever just schooling through the water together. It's so gorgeous to me. And sort of mesmerizing to watch. I've got a poster of a woman holding a little machine gun. And here we have a classic car dashboard item, a little hula dancer. But in this case, put in on this windowsill of this large cargo ship. And this thing is long in ruins. This is not a fresh crash, as all the metal is corroded and rusty. It's clearly been exposed to the elements for a long time. And this large cliff face here let's walk along the cliff here. Man, look at that pillar out in the sea. That's gorgeous. There's another, just seeing this massive pillar on the Irish coast, and I don't know if that's real or not, or if that's based on a real thing, but it's making me think of another Irish natural phenomenon. I'm pretty sure it's in Ireland. The Giant's Causeway. That volcanic, hexagonal rock that formed in all those pillars out on the coastline. It's a beautiful sight. You should look it up if you haven't heard of Giant's Causeway before. We've got a bag of basmati rice, a sack of Bolivian coffee, organic Bolivian coffee. And it looks like somebody was doing the dishes when this ship crashed. We've got a stack of plates that miraculously survived, and then some broken plates on either side of the sink. More broken plates on the ground. And what's this here? A carton of fruit juice. Looks like grapefruit juice. A hatch leading downward. And then bananas, finest quality, golden, delicious. What's this say? Big, thirsty cola. And then some cans labeled Soup King. So this was clearly the galley. The galley. A carton of low-fat milk. Or fat-free, rather. And let's step outside again. Make our way down the other side of the ship. Up there we can see the bow, although we can't reach it. Got some bunk beds. And down here we are on the coast proper. We found our way to the rock and dirt. We can walk right down to the water's edge. It's a beautiful coastline. I'd love to visit Ireland one day. Seems like an absolutely gorgeous place. Did you guys see the Banshees of Inisherin? That's the last Irish movie I can remember watching. That's a wonderful movie. I really, really, really enjoyed it. We've got some glacier flows out there. Whoa. What the? That's kind of freaky. Oh, it's a penguin. No, it's just a penguin. Any more penguins out there? When I first saw it, I just saw the black stripe on it, and it looked like a, I don't know, like a little figure standing off on the ice. So a little bridge of debris. And down here, we can see into the hold of the ship. Ruined crates. I wonder what this ship was hauling. What were its cargo containers full of? Oh, we've got the huge anchor up here. Look at that. Anchors are such a cool visual item, right? They just have such a unique, distinctive look. They're a very potent icon, I guess. They just look very cool. Look at those birds. They're just beautiful. I really love birds. Look at that pillar. It's a wonderful view. All right. This is Terminal. This is a remake of the map Terminal from Modern Warfare 2. In my wandering Modern Warfare 2 maps video, we explored this map, and I thought it would be fun to take another look at it in Modern Warfare 3 and just explore what has changed. The map is largely identical. I think it's mostly just aesthetic differences, and then a couple of small geometry changes as well. But let's just wander around and see what we see. Miksha. Here at Miksha Airlines, we are proud to announce we have added more non-stop flights to your favorite vacation destinations than any other airline in Russia. So go ahead, relax, and use your Getaway Go almost free reward points and explore some of our newest exotic destinations. Now enjoy non-stop service to New York City, Morocco, Paris, Siberia, Africa, Prague, London, Thailand. And then they have this white sand beach. Well, that's new. A little advertisement for their, I like that, the name, the almost free reward points. Vending machine. And this store here, we got some cell phones and headphones. iDub. So this electronics store here, Trobe. Oh, I like these ads. These little, these images here. This is very 2011. It has a lot of 2000s energy to it for sure. The fashion and aesthetics of those women. In Modern Warfare 2, this store was a bookstore. I remember when we were looking through it, we saw like Shakespeare books and stuff. Yeah. The hair color, the hairstyle, the torn light colored jeans. Very much of its era. That girl in the black over there could be like a MySpace profile picture for sure. So this bookstore became an electronics store, selling headphones primarily. Look at those ads. Very simple, clean, but without the sort of harsh minimalism of modern tech. The evolution of tech aesthetics is very interesting to me. We went from technology being kind of warm and colorful, and oh, this is fun. This was here in Modern Warfare 2. It was a burger town, and now they've changed it to a Russian burger town. Swapped out the English, but otherwise seems the same. Yeah, technology now, however, it's kind of evolved. Oh, look at this. Stone cutters on the rocks since 1729. Distilled London dry gin, distilled and bottled by the Stonecutters Distillery, London, UK. Technology used to have a sort of more colorful Bartolucci's restaurant, Bartolucci's. Colorful aesthetic, bright, vibrant, round and plump, almost like bulbous, rounded computers, you know, the early Macintoshes and stuff like that. And, man, look at those prices. Couldn't be today. Inflation is, inflation. It makes it funny to go back to old media and see the prices of stuff. But yeah, then I feel like it's a similar change. I often think of fast food restaurants and kind of restaurants in general. How back in the 90s and early 2000s, if you walked into like a McDonald's, there would be a big, garish, colorful statue of Ronald McDonald. There would be murals on the wall of all the characters, the Hamburglar, and you know, all those mascots. And it was very colorful and bright, and that all sort of faded away. You know, Burger Kings and McDonald's and Taco Bells and stuff, they all pretty much look identical now, except for the signage and the color scheme. And I don't know, it's like, I don't want to yearn for a business, right? I don't generally like to sort of be nostalgic for a company or something like that, a marketing strategy, because, you know, it's all just designed to get your money, and so I don't think it's a worthy thing to sort of put your love into. But I don't know, it's hard not to feel like the colors and the simplicity and stuff of or not the simplicity, just the sincerity of all those old designs and old technology and old fast food restaurants and stuff is preferable to me over the modern, soulless, minimalistic design. Anyway, this is super interesting here. I hadn't noticed this before. It's a Time magazine cover. World stands on the brink. Tensions rise across Europe. General Shepard laid to rest in Arlington. Oh, that's very fun. Of course, General Shepard was the villain of Modern Warfare 2. And I like that sign there, that giving you the, you know, cluing you into the fact that he was buried with full military honors, you know. That even though he was a monster, the world won't remember him that way. So I remember this. These perfumes were here in Modern Warfare 2. So that's the same. Those posters back there are also different, although there were posters in the original. They were just like movie posters. Flugruger plane there is the same as well. The same airline name. And with that, I think that is a wonderful place to end our exploration of Modern Warfare 3 maps. I hope that you found it as relaxing as I did to take a load off and appreciate these old maps. So until next time, my friend, please take care of yourself, and I will do the same, and we'll see each other next time for another relaxing evening of wandering around old maps or doing whatever we want to do next time. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye. Goodbye.